Hey running friends, Wrinkled Runner here. Have you been running the same time or mileage for a while and you're thinking about changing up your routine? Try adding in workouts to help you get faster and have more endurance. We're talking about adding running workouts today to your training, so stay tuned. Incorporating different running workouts into your training is a great way to add variety to your runs. We can gain running fitness and get faster when we concentrate on changing up our routine a bit and doing some different things to stress our bodies. Our bodies are really good at adapting to what's happening to them. So if you run the same mileage at the same pace for the same amount of days in a week, the body quickly gets used to that, and it takes longer to burn calories, get stronger, and get faster. In the summer of 2018, I was training for a half marathon with the goal of running it in under 2 hours. I had run, I think, 3 or 4 halves before that and was so close, and yet in running terms was so far away from that goal. The plan I used, which I'll link to down below, was more than just simply going out for a certain number of miles on a given day. Running workouts were included, which I had never really done before. The variety made the runs interesting, and it taught me that though some of the workouts were tough, it was always satisfying and felt like I really accomplished something when I was done. If you're new to running and you haven't yet reached the point where you can run for 30 minutes straight yet, that should be your goal. But when you get there, or when you finish whatever Start to Run program you're using, these workouts can be gradually added to round out your training. And if you aren't currently using a Start to Run program, check out the one put out by the RRCA. I'm a certified coach through them, and it's the training plan that I recommend to those who want to get started with their running. Once you decide to add workouts to your running, don't do them all in 1 week, especially if you have a longer run that you do. You only really need to add one other stressful run. Too many hard runs can lead to injury and burnout, so stick to adding one of these a week. So let's jump into the workouts. If you've been running for a bit, you may have heard the term Fartlek. This is a Swedish word and it means speed play. And the drill is as simple as that. You're playing with your speed. You're going fast and then you're going slower. There are many ways to do this, and you can devise the plan yourself, which is the best part of this particular workout. You can pick a tree in the distance, or I used light posts a lot, and they're usually evenly spaced, which for me makes me feel better because of the evenness, but it's not really necessary. You can use anything up ahead and then run as fast as you can to it, and then pick another item in the distance and run slowly to that, and keep going from there. You can listen to music and run fast during the verses and slow during the chorus. Listen to a podcast on running and run fast when you hear a certain word that you pick, and then slow down when you hear a different word. You can also design it by time, 60 seconds fast, 30 seconds slow. As you can tell, this is a pretty individual workout, so it's really easy to incorporate whenever you feel like a burst of speed. It's not anything that has to be planned out before a run, so if you're feeling great, you can just add it in mid-run. Another workout that takes a bit more planning, at least here in Buffalo, is a hill repeat. We have some hills here in the city, but I have to know that's what I'm going to do so I can get to them. Inclines can be very unfun, and for some reason up until a few years ago, I could not go up a hill without feeling really lightheaded and like I was going to pass out. My heart would race. It was almost like a panic attack, so I never really ran up a hill on a regular run. So to deliberately do a hill workout on purpose wasn't something that had crossed my mind for a long time. But something changed in my body when I started marathon training, and one day I was able to run up a hill and it had no effect. So when I was training for the sub 2 hour half and hill work was a part of the plan, I didn't dread it as much. If you want to try a hill workout and this is new for you, I suggest you find a hilly area and run a regular run on that and see how it feels. If it feels good, or at least okay, you can incorporate something like a 5-minute walk to a hill. And by hill, I don't mean it has to be super steep. But you can run up this hill at a good clip and then slowly jog down. Walk a bit to recover. Figure there should be at least 90 seconds to 2 minutes before you charge up the hill again. Make sure you feel recovered, and then you can repeat. Do this 4 times and then do a cool down for 10 minutes. Just a quick note, make sure this is something that you're fully confident you'll be able to do. And if you run it once and it seems too hard, chalk it up to training and then just try to do it like twice the following week and build up to more sprints. If you're older, like over 50, please check with your doctor before trying anything strenuous or different than what you usually do. As long as you have a hill to run up, you can plan your own training for this. Pick a number of repeats that you're comfortable with, and you can either run there as a warm-up, which is what I usually do, or you can run a few miles afterward. And once you get the hang of hills and you're comfortable, then you'll always be able to add those in. The next workout is a tempo run, and that's one where you can hold a harder pace for 20 to 40 minutes. It depends on whose definition you read, honestly. It's a harder pace, about 30 seconds slower than a 5K pace, but you're not going all out. It's one you can hold. When you first start doing tempo runs, it may be difficult to gauge where you should be. The tendency is to go out too fast, and so you poop out before the run time is over. One of the benefits of doing a run like this is you can start to learn what paces feel like, unless you're like me and knowing your running has a certain pace is just not a skill you have. I suck at that. There's a calculator that can help you figure out what pace you should be doing this run, and I'll link you up to that down below. This calculator it will tell you your paces for a few different run workouts, so you can go ahead and play with that. Calculators like that usually use race results, so if you haven't raced recently or ever, just plug in whatever data you have for a certain distance and time and it'll still figure it out for you. What's nice about a tempo run is even though it's hard, it doesn't go on forever. If you haven't ever done one before, I would just go out for like 10 minutes and see what that feels like. Remember, this pace should be sustainable for those minutes, even though it will feel hard. It may seem very difficult if you're new to running, and again, I don't recommend you do this until you have a good base, which just means you have built up your running or completed like your initial start to run program. Don't worry so much about pacing if this workout is new to you. The goal should be just to learn to run harder and be able to sustain it. The benefits of the tempo run is to teach the cardio, respiratory, and muscular systems how to use oxygen while getting rid of all the stuff that you don't want, like carbon dioxide and lactic acid. This run will also improve your endurance without having to run a long run like a 14-miler or whatever. Sometimes you may do high-intensity interval training in other forms of workouts that you do, and the next workout is just like that, but with running. Hills and fartleks are that kind of a run. For an interval run, you'll run for a specified length of time, say 30 seconds, or a certain section of a mile very fast, usually talked about in meters in the running world, but I always translate it to mileage, being in the US when I do it. Then you'll have a time of recovery, say 60 to 90 seconds or a quarter of a mile or whatever. If this is new to you, here's a simple one you can try. Run for a mile to warm up, not fast, just easy. Then run for a quarter of a mile really fast, walk for 3 minutes, repeat the quarter mile run, 3-minute recovery, 3 more times. So you'll be covering a mile at the fast pace with recovery in between. As always, if you feel like it's too much, you can drop any remaining intervals and have a goal of completing the workout in the next few weeks. Here is what that interval would look like on paper. It's kind of a runner shorthand that you may have seen before and not recognized. It will read 1 mile warm up, 4 by 0.25 miles at 5K pace with 3-minute recovery, 1 mile cool down. Again, links to the calculators to help you figure out what pace the running section should be will be in the description. I'll also put the workout down there too so you can see it. There's more of a risk of injury with this type of workout, so just be sure you're ready to tackle these. You can consider it if you run more than 20 miles a week, say, and you have a good base and you've tried out some other running workout. If you would still consider yourself a novice, don't do these all out. Run them faster than you can talk, but don't all out sprint. You don't need to reap the benefits of this workout. The pluses are the same as the tempo, and you can improve your form, and you can improve the fast twitch muscles. Twitchy muscles is another topic for another day, But when you want to get faster, you need to get those fast twitch muscles worked out. I would say these are the hardest for newish runners, the intervals, to incorporate on their own without direction from a plan or a coach. I'll put a link to the blog post defining and giving the examples of these workouts so you can see all of them. If you would like help knowing how and where and when to fit these in your training, you can send me an email at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com and I will try to help you. Include your age, how long you've been running, your pace per mile or kilometer, and whether you've done any of the workouts before. I don't have access to a track, so when I do workouts or drills, I'm on the road or the sidewalk, and I live in the city, so close neighbors and people all over, even at the park. It took me a while to feel comfortable running full speed or up a hill and jogging back down multiple times. It helped to have a running partner, who is my husband, to do these with me when I first started doing them. Now I don't think anything of it, but at first it felt weird. Like I shouldn't be doing workouts or drills since I'm not an elite or super fast or in college. I've come to realize, though, that whether I am running fast or slow or uphill or doing something repeatedly, no one actually cares if they are even noticing me at all. If you are just beginning to run, you might feel like everyone is watching and judging. For most runners, we're just cheering you on in our heads, even if we just give a wave. Others who aren't runners may not have a clue what you are doing, but like the meme says, you're lapping everyone on the couch. So just do your thing and feel that sense of accomplishment when you're done. The Wrinkled Runner is not only a YouTube channel, there is a blog and podcast as well. You can link to all the outlets below as well as any resources I talked about in today's video. Before you explore those links though, subscribe to the channel and come visit every Wednesday morning. You can email me at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com with any questions and hit the link to subscribe to my once a month newsletter where I share things I've come across in the running world, talk about what I've been up to, and provide links to whatever videos, posts, and podcast episodes have been put out the previous month. Newsletters are sent the first Saturday of every month. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the run.